So I want to talk today a bit about a common worry that parents have when their children come into therapy, which is, what if my child says some really deeply personal things about our family? And this is something that in all my years as a therapist, whilst we try and make parents feel at ease at the very beginning, it's rarely a conversation that we have openly, because it can feel hard. It's a really normal fear to carry. It's natural because you can be feeling like you're handing over your child to a complete stranger. And if there's been a lot of stress and challenge and maybe anxiety and animosity in a family, parents can worry that it's going to be a consequence or ultimately that they might be blamed. So I just want to kind of reassure people that as a therapist, my job isn't to try and dig up family secrets. We're not here to apportion blame to specific events, but what we are trying to do is really get a feel for what a child's family life has been like, their history, things that may or may not have happened and be impacting them, and really just to listen and observe and to try and kind of understand what contributes to the current difficulties a child has. Understandably, sometimes those things can relate to specific events, but quite often it's more than just one thing. Um, and it's never necessarily about what people are or aren't doing. Now, what we're trying to do in therapy is we're trying to provide emotional safety as opposed to silence. Children often carry a lot of confusion and guilt for things that they can't explain, whether that's about parental conflict, um, the loss of someone close to them, a divorce or separation. When those things aren't explicitly described or discussed, this is where children can start to feel more emotionally unsafe through no fault of anyone's. And what we're trying to do is break that silence and create a space where we can talk openly and freely. And this isn't a damaging experience for a child. And what we're really trying to get to is diffusing any emotional charge. Healing also begins from a place of honesty. If we can't talk openly, carefully, and importantly, confidentially, then it makes the therapy journey difficult. And even when these things feel really sensitive or personal or bring up a lot of really difficult feelings, my role as a therapist isn't to stir things up, but it's there to support. Um, and thirdly, one thing that's really critical in this, we're not here to judge. No family is perfect, it doesn't exist. Our image of perfection in our mind exists more than actual perfect family. And what we're trying to do is support parents in their willingness to allow their child to come into therapy and to be able to sit with the things that feel uncomfortable. And when we're able to do that, that's a sign of strength and not failure. And we're certainly not here to use that against people. What it also really comes down to is the best way to protect children is to be able to have open, honest, and free conversations, even when those things feel really difficult. And if you're thinking about bringing your child to therapy, or your child is already working with a therapist, and you've got these feelings that your therapist is going to hear something that you feel really uncomfortable with, I'd really encourage you to have that conversation in the best way you can, or communicate something about your difficulty to your child's therapist so they can work with you. One, to understand this for your child, but also to help you feel less burdened and see the strength in opening up and acknowledging these things and the benefit of that for your child's therapy.